and people were like, what's that? It's like, I was at Target and they had a cosplay section, and I was like, what?
Yeah, like, I remember my early days, like, I think it was like around 2000, 2001. I was still in high school, and I was getting fabric from the Lodi Joann's, which was tiny and just really garbage and just felt weird. And at the time, I don't know if they still do it anymore, but they would always ask, if you're cutting fabric, oh, what are you making out of this?
Yes, they still do.
I had to stop and think of a lie. I was like, I'm making curtains. I'm making a pillowcase. I need 10 yards of it. I'm a pillow.
That's so cool.
But yeah, even when I would go to Lowe's, this is back when I was first starting to get into resin casting, and I didn't really understand the difference between resin casting and fiberglass resin. And I was getting like fiberglass resin to use as casting, which I did for a good year until I realized, no, don't do that. You can do it, it's possible, I made it possible, but it's so unhealthy for you. And I remember walking into a Lowe's, I was like, do you guys have resin here? And they were like, what are you using it for? And I'm like, stuff. And they were like, oh, are you using it on surfboards? Yes, I'm using it on surfboards, sir. And he's like, oh, okay, it's right over here. I'm like, I need to know something about surfboards. My surfboard is long. Very good, very okay. Well, I was probably super duper weird to them, but every single time they would ask, like, what are you using the resin for? None of your fucking business. But it was always like an embarrassing thing almost to admit that you were a cosplayer. Because you didn't want to have to deal with the weird looks or whatever, so you had to appear normal. I was not good at appearing normal.
I mean, it's always slightly not oversaturated, but like in a way, oversaturated. But it's never too late to cosplay. And like right now, the tools and all the books and like our friends, like Svetlana and like, Kamui, like they have books, they've really turned it into a full career to make it accessible for everyone. Like you couldn't get Warble, there was no Plastic Depot. There was you could like buy it online, and then even then you're like, cool, let me get 10 of my friends because there's a discount if you buy 10 jumbo sheets. You'll get one in 5 months.
And look at all the talented cosplayers that are working with Simplicity in the call to share how the pattern and stuff like. We didn't have that years ago.
We didn't have the University of YouTube, guys.
Yeah.
It became like
Way prestigious University of YouTube. By the way, we have 1 minute left. Does anybody have any questions or anything? Yes.
I just sort of realized this. Is there any male cosplayers?
Oh, there's so many.
None of them. There's one in the booth right now.
My husband actually cosplays, but he's home with the cats.
My partner cosplays, but he's home with the dogs.
Good husbands. House husbands.
Yes. Take care of
I mean,
them.
like the boots?
But there are plenty of male cosplayers out there.
I was at MegaCon 2 weeks ago, and there's at least 2 or 3 male guest cosplayers. It was really nice. It was really
Okay.
cool.
All right.
Yeah, there are some, I mean, they're just incredible cosplayers across the board, whether male, female, whatever identifiers. I think, at a con like this one, we're all just kind of getting back in the swing of things, and people's comfort levels are where they're at, and so we have what we have, and I'm so grateful for it, and I hope moving forward we'll get to see more people out there.
Has it been hard to connect with people because of the masks?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard to
We all
talk
know
to
each
people,
other,
I think.
thankfully.
Yeah, it's challenging to get people. You have to speak a little louder, and you're kind of like, what? But
As fan interaction, I just thought it'd be tough.
I mean, it's easier to pose because you can't,
I know. We don't have to like put any makeup on our bottom half of our face. It's great.
I find it as a good talking point. Just to, like, hey, thank you for wearing your mask. And you're like, oh my God, like, I can tell that it's you behind your eyes. Or
And some people have really cute masks, and it's
Right.
the first thing I'm like, oh my God, your mask is so cool. We're gonna get that back.
you had a question.
One last question, I guess. I'm assuming there's a baseline extrovert amongst you all, but my question is, do you find yourself a greater extrovert in costume, or about the same?
I'm very much an introvert in my personal life. I am very shy. I hardly even text my best friends because I'm just so closed off. But when I come out to conventions, I mean, you've been at my booth all weekend.
Oh, okay.
And we've been bantering and taking videos together, and I've just been probably, it's the costumes for me.
Yeah.
The costume and the characters really bring out that extroversion and that ability to connect with someone
I mean,
and
don't get us
not be
wrong.
very shy.
At the end of the weekend, we'd love to go home, rip everything off of our bodies,
Yeah.
and like curl in a corner and rock for a little bit, and talk to ourselves, and just not want to talk to anybody for about a week.
Decompress.
Yeah.
I think the big thing though at conventions, we are around like-minded people, and that really does bring out
That-
the
exactly,
on, the extrovert in us, because when you're an introvert, typically it's because you might not be in an environment that you feel comfortable in, or whatever, for whatever reason, but sometimes the introvert can turn into the extrovert or the ambivert, because when you're around people that are like you, that think like you, that talk like you, that are just basically an extension of you, it really does bring out the best in you. And
It feels like seeing your best friend.
It does,
It's like
yeah,
you're
it
getting
does.
together and you've just got that energy and that synergy that comes out, and it's just like being in a convention filled of.
You talk about Batman for 10 minutes, Star Trek for another 20, Doctor Who for about 5 minutes over here. Like, it's kind of really
Doctor
nice.
needs more time.
'Cause these are our people. You guys are our people.
Yeah.
And we're here, you know, to like be with you and be present with what we love. We just also like to, we're masochists and want to make these characters come to life.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, guys, we are given the signal, so we need to wrap up here, but thank you guys so much for
Come
coming.
talk
If
to
you guys
any
have
of
any
us.
questions,
Yeah, we're done so much.
thank you, Marcia, for organizing this. Thank you very much.
Happy Sunday.
I gotta go see my.